all the disrespect before you play back. Button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day. Better late than never. Buttons that need to be checked. We got some hot ones, man. Chapters down below, sub button right there. A lot is going on, and we's about to unpack it all, man. So without further ado, let's get buttons. Let's go. All right, first up for that victory lap comments from Blaz, buttons that need to be checked. Do you remember a couple stories ago we covered Blaz was over there? It was like a China Invitational, and the young man won. Literally beat all them gods. It was crazy because he was like the only one. It was all like Chinese and Japanese and then just Blaz, and then he wins. Either way, Tokido actually has a vlog channel, link down below so y'all can check it out. A lot of damn subscribers. I guess he was kind of like vlogging while he was at the airport. He runs into Blaz, does like a mini interview. Check it out.
こちらの上海国際空港に飛び立ちまして、成田へ向かいます。私と同じフライトにはこのお二人も乗っているわけで。
So right there he stops. He's like, look who's on the same flight as me, and it's actually Blaz and his dad.
Blaz さん、congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you say one word for our audience?
For the audience, thank you for the support me always when I participate in a tournament, and I'm very happy for that.
Yes, you finally won. Yes.
Yeah,
So now you are confident in Cup on Cup.
Right now I'm very tired because I don't sleep.
Okay, you guys don't sleep.
Pero estás tienes confianza para.
But I have confidence.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, take a good sleep on the flight.
Like this.
カミロさんもよく寝てください。ありがとうございます。
So that's what's up, man. It looks like, you know, the young man was tired, saying are you confident for Cup? Honestly, though, I think he was already confident. He was confident in the last one. What did he get in grand finals? In the last one, almost winning the whole thing. And there was this whole talk like, we think Blaz does good in these big ones because youngsters don't have a concept of money. Therefore, they don't really have this concept of like added pressure. So they just play relaxed and they play for fun. What do y'all think about that? Because I always thought it was bullshit because I was like, I remember being young and I remember being nervous as hell. And I knew what the hell some money was. Blaz is like what, 11? 9 years old? No, but for real, Blaz is like, didn't he just turn 17? Something like that. But either way, old enough to understand money. But then again, we all come from different backgrounds. If I could talk, we all come from different backgrounds and we're all built different. You know, Blaz just seems like he likes to relax and have a good time, and that goes a long damn way. So if anything, he has added confidence like Tokido was talking about after this win. Cap Cup right around the corner. I'm glad to see that his dad is still with him. I mean, that makes sense, right? But I remember there was a few tournaments ago, we covered it in Button Check. I think it was earlier last year where Blaz's dad, I don't know if you guys remember, got into it with, what's his name? I completely went blank. It's the player that after he beats you, he hands you a business card. You know what I'm saying? He hits you with that. I can't remember his damn name. But anyway, he did that to Blaz. Blaz's dad steps in, gets it, throws it at him, almost starts like scolding him. He starts laughing like the player. He starts laughing. People are like, oh shit, Blaz's dad ain't playing around. After that, I didn't really see Blaz's dad, at least while he was playing, afterward in the venue. I didn't see anything like that as far as like footage. Now on this one, you see obviously they're still together. But like I said, that would make sense that they're still traveling together because he's a youngin'. For a while, I was afraid like, I wonder if they banned his dad. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if after that they told his dad like, hey, you can't be coming around like that. But they probably more or less just told him to calm the hell down. Either way, young man winning it all, confidence, headed to the Cup. How y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, next up for Arslan Ash, arguably the greatest Tekken player ever, moving to Japan to elevate his game. Buttons that need to be checked. This is mega. This is huge, man. He posted this just the other day. I guess there was an announcement over him saying, press release, Arslan Ash arrives in Japan to establish his base of operations for battles in earnest. Obviously, this is a rough translation. Looking ahead to activities in Asia Pacific region after arriving in Japan, Ash has formally signed a contract with our company regarding agent and management service. So that's cool. They just posted this little picture of him right there. So I guess he went there to sign agent and management service. But if you get deeper, Arslan posts this saying, a new chapter begins. I moved to Japan to push myself to the highest level. While still competing around the world, I'll always represent Pakistan. Esports careers are short, so I'm giving this my absolute best. Really thankful, tagging them for believing in this journey. Holy shit, this man talk about I'm moving to Japan to push myself. I'll always represent Pakistan no matter what. This is huge because remember just a short while ago, Pakistan versus Japan or Korea. It's this whole thing of like Pakistan is the top, we're the best, and they always kind of seem to go back and forth. But recently, I know it kind of sounds foolish to say that Arslan hasn't been performing his best because he always just pulls something out of his ass and then wins all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? He's always right there on the top. But I would say just like the last several big tournaments that I saw him in, he, I guess, hasn't been pulling it, winning the whole thing. So maybe he's just kind of reflecting on himself where he just said, esports careers are short, so I'm going to give this my absolute best. He has a whole family. So I imagine he's uprooting his wife. I don't know. I think he has like 1 or 2 kids and then moving to Japan to be like, I got to give this all I got. And like I said, they went from 1 second of his Tekken career saying Pakistan's the best, we're the best, and he plays with all those dudes. But now moving to Japan to be like, I want to train over here because there's something over here that I feel like I need, a piece of the puzzle to my skill set that is missing, and I believe it's over here in Japan. That's dope as hell. So that's what's up, man. They're doing this nice little toast for him. Right above this, they say grateful, or Arslan says, grateful for the warm welcome. The man barely speaks English. You know what I'm saying? He does it, but I'm like, now he's even going further. Gotta learn some Japanese, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is dedication. This is dedication for your ass. So it's cool to see they're giving him a warm welcome. How y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, next up, for a very dark era in fighting game history, buttons that need to be checked. This is an interesting debate going on on X or Twitter right now. Y'all be the judge. So we're talking about Street Fighter 6 and how all these games around it seem to be a little lackluster or kind of failing, like your 2XKOs and whatnot. Let's unpack. So right here, Eduardo, aka PRBalrog, says Dark Era in fighting games number 2. Street Fighter 6 is holding the whole place, bigger scale than Third Strike back then, but still the same conclusion. This one has about 544 likes. Underneath it, I see Majin Obama posting saying, I felt this way in the past year or so. Right now, it feels like Street Fighter 6 on the back of the Japan community numbers props everything up, but you aren't seeing that trickle down to everything else. Makes me nervous that what it's going to look like when the Street Fighter 6 or when Street Fighter 6 eventually does decline. Then I see some respond to that saying, as bizarre as it sounds, I feel like the better Street Fighter 6 is doing, worse it is for other games. Street Fighter 5 Rough State had people try everything, Tekken and anime games especially. I feel like now that Street Fighter 6 is doing so well, players aren't looking anywhere else, especially in Japan. How y'all feeling about that one? I remember that debate back when Tekken, season 2, when that catastrophe hit, and people were like, oh, there's a bunch of refugees in the Tekken community. Come over here. Come on to death row. Everybody's throwing out their game. You guys need to play this. So it's almost like that same perspective of thinking like when one big community is failing, there's a lot of gaming refugees like wondering out, what else can I play? So they're like, if one fails, it actually does better for us. Do you think there's any truth to that? Going deeper, Alucard right here says, Third Strike didn't hold shit. The whole shit was dead. Third Strike was played years later. If this was 2 or 3 years after the final DLC in Street Fighter 6, yeah, I could see that. And then how is it Street Fighter 6's fault that other games can't keep up? Damn. How you feeling about that? How is it Street Fighter 6's fault that other games can't keep up? And then absolutely no one played Third Strike when it came out. It wasn't just the 3D games carrying the genre, Tekken 2, 3, MK4, DOA, 1, 2, Soul Edge, and Soul Calibur, Virtual Fighter 2, 3, but other 2Ds surpassed a Third Strike by massive margins. Alpha 3, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, MVC 1, KOF 98. Damn, this man's going in deep. And then you got Dark, but on the bright side is FGC events are larger than ever before. And then Third Strike was a flop, and it killed the series for a decade. By Capcom and Ono's own admission, stop rewriting history to fit a narrative. And then one thing nobody criticizes other games for is their lack of innovation. For better or worse, Capcom has been pushing things in new directions without worrying about the FGC or how the FGC reacts. Make the games fresh, push things forward, stop trying to make balanced Marvel 3 2.0. So how are you feeling about that? Talking about, for one, why is it Street Fighter's fault that y'all can't keep up? And why don't we talk about the lack of innovation in other games? Capcom has been pushing the limit. So almost like the trendsetter, so they deserve this spot. How y'all feel about that? And then I would say the opposite. There's so many fighting games people have easy access to, and there's no way most people played and learn all of them when they're new. It's only a dark age for people who play like 2 to 3 games, and more people are playing fighting games now than ever in the past, and NRS will save us. NRS will save us. There you go. Then with the amount of games we had in the 2000s that were good for single player, I think it was just one dark era, and it happens to be when Street Fighter is in the spot and the online play has been the best. And then do we need to go back to the discourse of accessible fighting games? Street Fighter 6 is ass. There you go right there. Street Fighter 6 is ass. And no wonder I vibe with this. A lot of major main lineup games are in a good competitive spot. So how are we feeling about that? Talking about this is a dark era in fighting games because Street Fighter 6 is holding the whole place on its back. That's not healthy. Remember we had a video not too long ago, about a month ago, where people were kind of saying the same thing, that is it really healthy that Street Fighter 6 is getting so much attention because of the numbers? I think it was EVO, some tournament, and it was like boom, right? All these entrants for Street Fighter 6, and then everything else was like, I mean, it was like thousands of difference from people registering. Some people though were making the argument like, well, it's only early, there's so many spots for Street Fighter, so everybody has to rush to do it. Everybody else is like late signups, so you can't really justify it like that. But we know, let's be real, at the end of the day, it's still a gap. It might not be like this, but it's still a damn gap. So the question remains, is it really healthy for the community? Because like Obama was also saying, I'm not seeing it trickle down. You would hope that if people, or so many new people, especially in Japan, would come in and say, man, this game's cool right here, that they would kind of look around while they were in the store talking about, what else do they got in here? Oh shit, some Guilty Gear, what's that? It doesn't really look to be the case. I remember when I first came into the FGC, I'm not gonna lie, all I cared about was Street Fighter. I saw everything else, but all I cared about was Street Fighter. Like that's what got me in the whole thing in the first place. Like, and I saw everything else. I saw the Smashes, the Melees, because they were in the tournament with us. I saw what, MK, the Injustices, Guilty, whatever. Anything that was there, I was like, oh, this is cool. There's like a lot of games here. But anything I watched, I kind of just liked Street Fighter, so that's all I cared about. I kind of looked at it as sports, right? When I grew up, I never cared about basketball. I thought it was cool, but I didn't give a shit about some basketball. You know, all I really cared about was baseball and football. No soccer, no volleyball, nothing else, just baseball and football. So that's all I watched and all I played. And I think it's kind of the same concept when people come into fighting games. Just because you play one doesn't mean you even care to play the rest. Yes, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that and they make that connection. But there's some like myself where it's like, yo, I only really like these two. I only really like these two. Or even more specific, I only like this one. So I think I'll just stick to this series and we'll see. But there you have it for now. Is it really a dark era in the fighting game history? How you feeling? Let me know. Definitely just one more time, Butt Check family, definitely let me know how you are feeling. Appreciate you for showing up, man. I know this is a late post. Either it's gonna be really late, which is today is what, Wednesday night, or it's gonna be super early Thursday morning. Either way, thank you guys for the amazing love. I'll also post a late night button check for Thursday night as well. So I'll see you soon, and as always, I don't know what it is, but I know somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
I want to show him a good time.
Oh, you American.
Yeah.
You bring American money.
I gotta leave. No. I got it.
Are you ready?
You ready? I'm ready. God damn! This place is off the hook. I don't know where to start. I'll take that one right there. She got to come.
Oh, yes. She's very nice.
She is nice, but I hurt my back and my neck, and I need a little bit more massage, you know. So I'm gonna take her in the pink, too.
Oh, yes.
And let me get her, hey, baby. And then I'm gonna have her. Can I get her too? And her right there, right there. She good with feet?
Oh, yes.
What are you doing?